Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Occult Chronicles. In our last video, Sarah Anawa began her quest to stop a rumored occult that is rumored to be within this strange mansion of the Lovecraft estate. The stars were right for a sacrifice. So far, Sarah Anawa has found a single clue token, a pendant containing a carving of some tentacled monstrosity, giving proof to the fact that the cult is indeed within this mansion. We have found many spirits all throughout this location, some very dangerous, and we spent most of our time fleeing from the encounters that we encountered. We also met the giant green slime, basically the blob, and it is guarding the entrance to the kitchens. We are not strong enough yet to even have a chance of defeating it in combat, so we'll have to wait to explore this area of the mansion until later. With about 1/3 of the bottom floor, the first floor, explored, Sarah Anawa now finds herself staring at this other door at the entrance, and will be making her way to the other side of the mansion. So far, since entering, she has lost 3 hit points, 1 point of sanity, and has gained for all her work 2 points of experience. Alright, let's pick back up. Can I quickly say that... Oh, well... I can quickly say, but we're going to wait till after this encounter. You hear a twang and look up to see crossbow bolt heading your way and aimed at your heart. Wow, the crossbow bolt. Crossbow bolt, how you doing? I see. Someone forgot to add a little A right there. Okay, that's enough of that, Tim. So, it is an equal chance to instinctively dodge or combat roll. You react immediately, twisting to dodge the deadly projectile. It's going to be tough. We have 2 pages. The other cards are very low. We better get a pentacles, that's a number, a number card, or a swords, that is, or we're going to take this trap in the face. Good. So she angled properly. Let's see if the crossbow bolt still hits her. It does not. We got really lucky there with an ace showing up on the trick table. Oh, and the king would have stopped the page of pentacles from doing anything anyway. You twist hard to one side and feel the breeze as the bolt narrowly misses you and flies by within inches. It was more like centimeters or millimeters, judging from how we just barely passed that check. I like the mansion's rooms. The art on these is nicely done. I wish that the card art was the same. It's very thematic. Now that I think about it, the mansions this makes could make a great floor plan for like a Dungeons and Dragons map. I'll have to remember that in the future. Just fire this up, play it for a few hours, and then I have a map ready to go. Alright, so we've got a smoking room here. We're probably going to find at least one of the 2 smokers in here. We don't find it either. Okay, it's the second time I'm wrong about that. You see a spent candle placed next to 7 chalk circles. You have the impression that somebody has been playing a game here. You notice the cards sitting in 3 of the circles. A sudden chill shoots down your spine as you realize one of the cards. Death. Something supernatural is going on here, and you can feel it in your bones. A ritual was in the process of being performed, and was suddenly interrupted. You can sense the spirit energy swirling about this place. We're a little familiar with it, at least, so it's not going to absolutely terrify us. Okay, and apparently we've played this game before. Your mind is strong. You struggle with the effects of the supernatural energy that has been drawn to this location via the ritual that the deck has begun to invoke. Alongside death sit despair and darkness. The unseeing eye seems to preside over all three. This is a very unusual deck. You can't place it exactly from memory. You think it might have originated in the Balkans, but you're not sure. You study the setup carefully and decide what to do next. Let's see if we can decipher what game was being played here. You decide to try and examine the card game set up more closely to see if you can identify it and what it was trying to do. The deck is obviously being used for a divination ritual of some sort, but that's all you can figure out. We'll try that again. It'll get a little easier each time that we fail. Well, the first time that you fail, it makes it a little easier. And then if you begin taking sanity or hit point damage, the game might decide to make it a little more easier for you. Yes, you recognize the deck and the setup. It's clearly the work of the Red Hand. You thought that the cult had been destroyed utterly. Why would a Red Hand divination deck be set up here? There must be a spirit key nearby. You should try to find it. If you find the key, you can play the deck without the worry that you might precipitate some catastrophic event. You suspect that it is nearby. A key for a deck created for the Red Hand will most likely bear the mark of the Red Hand somewhere conspicuous. You will know it when you see it. We could always try playing it without the key, but as you can see, it is very difficult. If we had the key, I think that target number would be lowered by 4 to 6 points. The boxing ring. Okay. I guess we should step into this place, but we're not going to attempt the boxing challenge. We need probably 1 more wands and 2 more pentacles to have a chance of getting to the end of that series of encounters. And that is probably the boxing manager. We'll come back for him. But we might as well investigate the rest of this, looking for a clue token. Now, the key to the deck of the Red Hand is this tapestry. I'm hoping we might be able... we'll hope that we can get into this room by that locked secret door, because I would rather avoid... Oh, okay, hold on. No, I'm a little bit incorrect. I thought we had to sneak past the green slime. No, we don't. So... we're going to make a detour and go back to complete this quest. Since we're not playing the game with a time limit, I don't feel obligated to try to turn in several quests at once. This going all the way back for this one singular quest that we have the second part unlocked for is not, I don't consider it a waste of time. In fact, for poor Sarah Anawa, who is struggling to get any experience points, this is practically required, I feel. Do you guys mind, by the way, the slow walking? I think it's thematic, which is why I do it. We have another zombie. We will, as usual, try to fight it. That was dumb. I should have used my knife. We lost this battle, again, as badly as we could have lost it. We didn't get a single success. I'm not going to select this card because our token is on it. And at this point in the game, I'm not worried about getting a wound or an instant death from an encounter. So, in case you don't remember, if you select a card that has a talisman on it, the talisman automatically negates whatever was on the bottom of that card, making this a guaranteed no results, effectively. However, there is a 4% chance that our talisman gets burned up if we select that card. I will not bother you. 1 hit point was fine. Try that again. At this point, everyone, I'm not going to be overly negative on the game while I'm playing it. Normally I lose my patience once or twice when playing the game and I get really upset. I'm not going to do that this time. But I would like to draw your attention to how we are struggling to win these battles. If we had a pistol instead of our dagger, we would probably be running from every single encounter that we had and desperately trying to complete a single quest. This is one of the reasons why I really wanted Sarah Anawa to start with a melee weapon, because starting with a pistol is so... It's useful, but the dagger is more useful starting out. By the way, the ranged weapon you can get as a merc can vary greatly. It's any type of ranged weapon. So you could end up with a flintlock, which is not a very good one to get. A Colt 45, which is a good pistol. You could start with a submachine gun, or even a shotgun. And those are the better ranged weapons to acquire if you do start with the merc. Sorry, I feel like always interjecting some gameplay tips, because I know I'm probably one of the only YouTubers who regularly... Well, is this regularly? Who occasionally uploads Occult Chronicles all these years later. We still failed to defeat the zombie. We had a good hand, too. Just none of the cards we needed showed up. Oh, this zombie is tearing us to shreds. Oof, this may be the end of us. We just lost a total of 5 hit points fighting this zombie, and we're not getting good hands. We had one good hand, but we didn't get the trick cards we needed up here to win the fight. Yep. Well, if it ends here, well, then it ends here. Sarah was unable to win. We could flee, but I don't really want to. At this point in the game, if I can't beat one of the weakest encounters in the game, Sarah should just be making a beeline for the exit, rather than even trying to slug it out in this location. Okay, we won. And I kept forgetting about our dagger. I need to remember we have that. You can see that we desperately need experience points. We are losing against the weakest creatures over and over and over again. And we're not getting any rewards. We're just not getting lucky at all. We have another group of cultists' guardians. A group of cultists emerges from the shadows. They seem to be exceptionally stealthy. They must be scouts or guardians from some organized group that has taken up residence here. This group looks particularly dangerous. They seem well-trained, well-armed, and by the look of them, well-organized. You can't tell exactly how many there are, as they move in a tight formation to hide their numbers. So, I think, just like the zombies, we try to fight them. If we don't even have a good chance of fleeing from them, it is better than fighting, but I'd rather try to beat them up. As long as we can get a single swords card, we can win. The cultists move faster than ninjas and strike like vipers. Try that again. I'll risk that we're not going to have a page, a 10 or a 9 of wands as one of those two cards, and we'll use the knight to win the fight. Oh, I was wrong. We did get to 10, but we didn't waste the 8 either, taking a 5 with it. Actually, no, even if I use my dagger, our 2 can at most become an 8, which is still not enough to take that card. You won the battle. The cultist bodies lie strewn across the floor. Maybe you can find something useful on them. Bullets. Alas, we do not have a pistol, and you cannot hold on to bullets unless, for future use, so this card is unfortunately wasted. But we did get one very precious point of experience. Our cups is now 3 points. Thank goodness. That still won't make that much of a difference, but it will be helpful for all of the fleeing and fighting that we do. Okay, so we will try to find the key. Oh, the game is taking pity on us. We are doing so poorly that the game is like, I'm going to lower the difficulty to 3. I'm so sorry, Tim. This is obviously the key for the red hand card game ritual that you found earlier. You decide to examine the tapestry more closely to decipher the key. This might be risky. I'm going to fail this. It's a bit risky failing an encounter whenever you do it, because obviously you have a chance to draw some negative cards. But since our target number is only 1, I would like a chance to get a good amount of card draw by winning this encounter. So I want a decent hand. This one's okay. We have 2 queens, so I'm willing to play this out. Yeah, we'll do this. I think it's us 4 points over, which is a very nice number to have. If we get really lucky, we'll get a cups card up here as well. And we did. Good. You almost didn't see it at first, but the key is built into the movements of the 2 armies of knights as they prance around the battlefield. You quickly note down the corresponding cards and their locations. Five sanity, very nice. I'm going to quickly go back up to the main menu. Just to save the game. Remember that the game does not save in Reaper mode unless you quit to the main menu. Let it be known that you can Alt F4 as much as you like. Actually, doesn't Alt F4 even kill this game? I don't think it does. I think you have to Alt Tab and kill it manually via Control Alt Delete if you're looking to save scum. How tough do we think this locked secret door is? I don't remember what the numbers were. It's tempting to try. It's not going to get any better than that. Well, I mean, it will if I get more pentacles or wands, but that's tempting. No, not with 3 tricks. We'll go all the way back around and risk another zombie. The zombie battle should be a little easier for us. Assuming, of course, that we even have a zombie fight. Now, we could also get lucky. The staircase, the other entrance to it, might be on the other side of the green slime and lead us down into the kitchens. If I recall correctly, this is not doable for us. Oh, it's a little better. You'll note that we have 1 more trick now. It's not 3-4-4, it's 3-5-4. But I would like 1 more draw if I could get it somehow. So no, won't take that. You went there for that. Let's go ahead and turn this in. Oh, that's still not a good chance. I mean, it's much better than this, of course. Well, actually, it's a good chance. It's just not great. Now that you have the key, you should be able to play the deck in relative safety. Oh, I don't like seeing my hand not having any face cards in it. That's going to make this tough. Oh, wow, that was actually really, really nice. None of the trick cards was very high at all. So we were able to benefit by the fact that we only did have number cards. And we won by 4 over. Very nice. You light the candle, invoke the words in the key corresponding to the current hand, and you deal out the next 2 cards, the shield and the dagger. The candle flickers out, but you have a vision. No, it isn't a vision. It's an urge to deal out 1 more card. You have continued the game and dealt 2 more cards. The candle has flickered out, almost as if someone or something had blown it out. You relight the candle and decide how to proceed. We'll complete the quest. I think we might be teleported away to someplace else, and I think we might be in a very dangerous room, but I also think we get some other rewards as well. So, actually, let's leave this alone first. Go to our personal file and begin working towards a skill card next. It's very tempting to take another point in swords to give us a good swords value of 4. Actually, maybe we should do that to start. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll work on a skill card after that. Alright, let's complete the quest. You feel the need to draw 1 more card, but you hesitate. You sense that it might be risky. You draw 1 final card from the deck. Blood. You feel faint. Your vision begins to blur, and you think that you are looking down a long, black tunnel. A wave of red is approaching. You awake in a cold sweat. You have no idea how long you've been unconscious. I don't know if you guys have ever watched, I think the game, what was the game called? A game. It wasn't a game, it was a movie. I don't remember. Kung Fu Hustle. Kung Fu Hustle was the name of the movie. There's a scene in it where the main protagonist slash antagonist, it was a bit of a weird main character in that game, is walking down a hallway to free someone who can help him get revenge. And if I recall correctly, like it's a dim, dark hallway, and there's a metal door on the other side. And as it begins to open, all this blood just gushes out into the hallway like a wave. It was really well done. I really liked that scene. We gained a map. I wouldn't mind having a gun or another weapon. We'll take a look what the map does in a bit. Oh, a map and 1 experience point. Oh well. Not getting lucky at all today. Put that in swords. And let's take a look at what the map does for us. Uses per challenge, 1. Item removed from inventory after last use. Wands bonus +1. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've gained 1 point in wands. Very helpful. And we can use the map during a challenge. Oh. So, actually, no. Okay, so we can't use the map during a challenge. It has no use there. But we can use the map whenever we want. And when we do so, reveal the location of all stairs on the level and some of the rooms leading away from the stairs. This could be useful in the basement levels. I will hold on to it until then at least. But getting an item that gives us +1 wands, that is actually really rare. So, I did not realize that this map does that. I'm really happy for this. What is it? What is the map of? Is that from The Hobbit? I think that's a map of Middle Earth. I don't have my Hobbit book with me. It's at work at the moment. I brought it into work some months ago to read it during my lunch breaks, and it got left there. And although I've been to work about 5 times since March, I keep forgetting to take it out of one of my drawers. Oh, this quarter with the boxes. I believe there is a jack-in-the-box here. This encounter is not one you can fight. It springs up, and then it tries to drain your sanity on you. This room might be another one of the rooms that has a bad encounter, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly save the game. Now, sometimes, even if we get the bad encounter, the game still works anyway. Yep, okay, so this is what I expected. So, we have a script error, and we're not allowed to even step into this room, so whatever is in this room stays in this room. Oh, no, okay, well, hold on, the game just teleported me there. Alright, thank you, game. And there was a clue token in here. Glad we were able to get through it. Let's take a look at that clue token. You have found some very odd printed material detailing the benefits of initiation into an unnamed cult. That's interesting. So they didn't flat out say it was a cult of the Red Hand. So maybe the Red Hand cult has a spy here, and that divination deck was being used to determine when they should make a move to assist or to hurt the cult. Or maybe the cult knew he was a cult member of the Red Hand and forced him to play that game in order that they could figure out when the best time would be to perform their ritual. Okay, so this is actually the main reason why I will not release my modded version of the game, because I am worried that someone would get this and it might cripple their game. I have not, now that I think about it, I haven't had this actually crash my game. I might be getting this confused with Solium Infernum. I have not modded Solium Infernum at all, but I know Solium Infernum does have that error pops up and it crashes the game. And Solium Infernum I play on Reaper mode as well, so that sucks whenever that happens. I lose hours worth of work. Hello, study. Are you a Rakasha or maybe a apothecary? Your pile papers. Well, we have a much better chance of doing this now that we have +1 wands. We get, as you can see, our target's now only 3, and our tricks is now 6. But I'm gonna leave this one alone. I said I would do 1, which we did already, but I want more pentacles, so we'll wait a little bit. That 4 wands also now means that I have a chance to get quests from places that I might not have gotten quests from before. Like the haunted painting, for example, might now give me a quest. We'll try that later. I am going to search the whole hallway. Corners and dead ends, and on the other side of the doorways are a great place for traps. I suspected there might be one here. You feel your foot press down on the pressure plate, and then hear the click as the tablets hit the pan of acid. A cloud of poisonous gas erupts from the floor beneath you. I think our best chance yet is fall to the floor to avoid the gas. We have our highest stat is actually our wands at the moment. You notice that the gas is rising in a cloud as if it was being shot upward. You decide to cover your mouth and hit the deck to get out of the way. Well, if we have a single swords card that's not the king, we'll win. If it is the king, we're probably going to lose. Okay, done. 1. Your quick thinking keeps you out of the poison gas cloud. I guess we cover our mouth with the map, which helped us out here. So this side of the mansion has nothing else in it. There might be a secret passage up on this wall, but I doubt it. Although the good news is that we didn't find the staircase. So the staircase must lead to either on the other side of this hallway, or maybe it does lead up into this area by the kitchens. That does mean, though, that we have to walk up on the 2nd floor, which will have tougher encounters and many locked doors up there. The lounge. I think we can find... No, don't say it. You've already been wrong twice about it. You see a chessboard set up for the commencement of a game. Upon closer examination, you discover that the pieces are very strange. The black ones are carved out of some volcanic rock and seem to shift between normal pieces and twisted tentacled monsters. The white pieces, carved from alabaster, depict humans, armed with all manner of weapons. You could swear that you see a knight that resembles yourself. Suddenly, in the chair across the chessboard, a grim specter of death appears. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the apparition beckons you to sit and play. You must fight to keep your sanity. No face cards. You will always hear me remark that. Whenever I get a hand that doesn't have face cards, you're always going to hear me say, no face cards. You're always going to hear me say, I don't feel good about this challenge, or we'll have to get lucky to win, every single time that occurs. And it will occur the vast majority of the times that I draw cards into my hand. Your mind is strong. You stare back at the apparition and even muster a nonchalant smile, which seems to amuse it. The specter startles you. You wonder if this is some type of trick or illusion. Could this be real? You can sense the currents of sorcery at work here, but just what the source is, you cannot be certain. It beckons you to sit across from it. The apparition motions to the board again, suggesting that you begin the game. So, you can get some decent cards from this. I think you can win a spell. I think there's a good chance to get Arcana cards and experience points from this. However, the cards you can draw when you lose include wounds. Wounds are cards that affect your swords or cups. You can get the ones that affect your wands or pentacles. I forget what they're called at the moment, but they're basically mental wounds instead. You can also draw a card of death, and your game is immediately over if you're playing this on Reaper. So, because I do not like those odds, like 3 draw, we'll come back here later to try this game. And death allows us to leave. He knows we're going to see him sooner or later, so there's no reason to rush it. You see a human figure lurking in the darkness, and you don't like the look of it at all. It steps forward from out of the gloom. You're confronted with a strange and unusually tall man who towers over 6.5 feet. He seems dressed like a mortician of some sort. He opens his hand to reveal a spiked shiny sphere that miraculously hovers out of his palm. He smiles, and a creepy voice says, "I have been waiting for you, boy." So, there's many pop culture references in this game. This is one of them. I still have never seen this movie, but I've been told this is from, is it Phantasm? I think it's the name of it, or Phantasmagoria? I think Phantasmagoria was the name of a video game, but I think it's Phantasm is what this is from. My friend Christian has seen it. He and I did a game of this together. I wish I knew which episodes those were, or what playlist that is on my channel. It was hilarious when we played this one together. Alright, anyway, back to the game. You have seen a lot of strange things, but this one is right up there. You have a feeling that there is a story here that is just the tip of the iceberg. Shame this is not the hand we had when we want to fight him. Your mind is strong. You see things far worse than this. After all, you were part of the first odd team to breach a dimensional barrier. This guy and his gizmo don't scare you in the least. 3 courage! You can get courage for horror checks? I must have added that in. Holy crap! And 9 courage as well. There's no reason really to split it up equally because we still don't have a ranged weapon, so we will more likely use whirlwind than critical hit. The strange man continues to approach you, striding forward with an unnatural gait. The spike ball now launches itself at high speed towards you. It's either fight or flee at this point. In the base game, I always do this since I've been modding the game, and I'll do it. I guess I'm doing it this episode as well. Your only option is to attack the strange man, or flee. I have added invoke spells or disrupt his control of the orb as other options for you if you are not a fighter. Let's take a look at what we have. Attack the strange man. You came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and you're all out of gum. Invoke spells. This is actually a bit worse. Yeah, it's a bit worse. The total numbers up there, we still have a total of 10 between our tricks and draw, and the target number goes up 1, so we don't want to invoke spells. We have a good chance to disrupt his control of that orb. We only get 4 tricks, but we get 6 draw, as opposed to 5 tricks and 5 draw with a target number of 7. We'll try this. You're pretty sure he's controlling the sphere with his mind, as opposed to any magical means. Maybe you can sever the connection he has with it. That will do it. The strange man lies still, bleeding from several deep wounds. You took control of the orb and used it against him. It ceases to obey your commands the moment he stopped breathing, but maybe you can find something else on him. Narcotic manuscript. Oh, and that gave us +1 pentacles. So for the rewards of those encounters, I made them give the same rewards that the attack has as an option to give you. I did that for the vast majority of the encounters that are a fixed encounter. For the random ones, if the encounter was physical, if the encounter didn't have a physical option, hold on, I'm messing this up. So in this game, when you engage in an encounter, if you're engaging in a physical encounter, you're fighting it physically, odds are, as a reward, you will gain life, and as a penalty, you will lose life. If you're fighting it with your mind or through spells, you will lose or gain sanity. So I did the same thing for all the random encounters whenever I added a option for them. So for example, the cultists. You have an option to use your psychic spells. I'm sorry, your spells against them, because I added that encounter in. Normally, you can only engage them physically. And so, as a reward, I added sanity if you win through that means. And so, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I just feel like I should explain my reasoning behind how I've modded the game. And I could release my modded files. It's just, I know someone's gonna go download them and like apply them and not back up the original game files first, and that's gonna be bad. Okay, and everyone, I need to use the restroom, so I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna let this keep running. Enjoy the music. Hopefully, it won't take too long. Sorry about this. Okay, let's set up the microphone again. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. Nope, I'm not going to share my plumbing problems with you guys. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. What are we doing? Well, we have 1 more pentacles now. It is very tempting to go over here for those papers. No, we won't do so at the moment. All right, so let us keep going. We're going to double back. And we're going to take the stairs that lead up to the 2nd floor, and we're going to walk those stairs and see where it takes us. Maybe we should try this wooden door first. We'll do this. Let's try it. So this is a locked wooden door. It's our first locked wooden door together, I think, everyone. You examine the locked mechanism and decide that you just might know how to finesse it open. Now, a heads up, I did try to add a new magical means to open doors, but although I had it working, the encounter, I could not get the door to become an open door afterwards. I was greatly upset, especially because that was one of the first things I had tried modding in the game. Oh, we have a good hand. We have a good hand. And we won, just like that as well. So when it comes to, you'll note that for some encounters, I will opt to fail the encounter immediately, like I did earlier with the find the key, because I didn't like my hand, and I was like, well, I think this encounter probably is just losing sanity. I don't think, and our stats are low enough that we probably are not going to draw an instant insanity card for failing it, or a whatever the mental wound cards are for failing that check. I don't mess around with locked doors, because although the number is very low, it always has a chance to spawn an ill omen, and I do not like taking negative luck. It's way too important that you have a high luck in this game, and hopefully we will get an aura of luck for winning this. Wow. That's what I say. That's as good as we're gonna get, because our ace can't take anything up here. That was great. Wow, we really knew how to open this door. The lock opens. You are just as talented with a lock as you thought. The mechanism clicks, and you turn the knob to open the door. I wonder if we threw a coin into the slot, just like Sarah Anawa had done in Anachronox. Aura of Fortune. Oh, Aura of Fortune, not luck. Okay. So now we've gained +1 luck. Luck is another stat that your character has, but you don't get to see it. When you beat the game, you can take a look at your character, and you'll get to see the luck that they had. That was amazing. Let's go back to the main menu. I want to save the game. While I'm here, by the way, let's show you what I was talking about. Oh, I can't! I can't! Right. I'm recording this on the new computer, so I don't have any of our other agents from years ago. They're over on the other computer. I have to go and look at where the game writes its save files to. Alright, sorry for that delay, everyone. But we gained 4 experience points from that. That's amazing. Wow. The whole last episode, we only got 2. And this episode, we've gotten 5 already. And it looks like we have another 30 minutes or so to keep playing. +1 swords. Now, a heads up that you don't want your stats going up to 5 too early in the game. A high stat, I think a 5 or better, the game begins saying, okay, you're getting strong. I'm going to make things tougher on you. Even if the rest of your stats are 1s. So, this comes back into you need to try to make a balance of the character in this game, although the game makes that extremely difficult for you to do. Oh, the gun room. The gun room. Okay, we really, really, really want a gun from this room. Let's see if we get lucky enough to find one. A big game hunter ghost. A ghost only materializes in front of you. It's dressed as if it stepped out of the safari on the Serengeti. It lowers its large caliber big game rifle at you and seems to be considering you closely. You don't know which is scarier, the ghost or the ethereal gun. You stand up straight and play the alpha male. That's something this ghost would understand. Alpha female. The ghostly big game hunter squints at you like he is sizing you up for his trophy wall. There is a taint to him. You suspect that he once brushed elbows with a witch doctor. You both stand there in a sort of ghostly standoff, waiting for the other to make the first move. You decide to enter a trance and use your skill as a medium to find out what this ghost wants. His taint is suspicious. You have no trouble establishing a link. He is quite eager to speak with you. Cheers, mate. I'm Colonel Von Pelt, and you are my prey, unless, of course, you can prove yourself useful. It seems one of my trophies has left the roost. I want you to track it down and return it to its rightful place. Come back here and let me know how you fared, or I will track you down. No, just kidding, laddie. I'll make it worth your while. There can be an encounter in here. That's it. To have a chance to get a gun, you'll end up searching these gun cases, and you might be able to get one. Now, this is one of those times when I do feel a little guilty about this, but I modded this encounter, and I made it as easy as I could possibly make it for you to succeed at this check. You notice several old broken gun cases. Upon closer examination, you see a scattered assortment of mostly antique weapons to the glass panes that enclose the boxes. Yep. I put the difficulty down to something like 0 or like -8 or something like that, because I was like, game, I want you making this the lowest it possibly can be, and I don't want you increasing the difficulty of this challenge. I want the player to have there's guns in these cases, give them a gun. So that's my story. This is the only encounter that I really did kind of cheat in when I modded the game. I'm not going to feel too guilty about it. Let's go ahead and search it. Alright, we have a good hand as well. You can also get, so I think upon successfully doing this mission, you get a guaranteed gun, and the other encounters can give you bullets. Other encounters. The other cards that you reveal. We probably would have won this encounter anyway. The only thing I adjusted was the target level. The total number of points that you have. I think normally it was like a 5, so I lowered it down to a 1, apparently. You find a few candidates that might be salvageable. Ah, I hate you! We get the flintlock. This is one of the worst guns we could have gotten. So, it's not reloadable, so bullets don't do anything for us. Like, we'll be able to collect bullets for the flintlock, but we can't give them to it. So effectively, we can't collect them. You can only also fire it in combat. So this is the worst one we could have possibly gotten. Well, I did kind of cheat to make that as low as possible. So be it. We get a flintlock. The good news is that we can use a critical hit even if our flintlock doesn't have any bullets in it. We can still use that heroic feat. So that does open up critical hit. Now let's take a look at what this round ball does. Bump the card value up on a random non-face card in hand. So I don't think we can use... Oh, well, Street Fighter, that's right. Street Fighter is a melee ability, so this is still not helping us. At least we can now use critical hit. I don't think we throw away the gun upon it reaching 0 bullets either. Oh, and you know what? I didn't even look at this narcotic manuscript. I don't think I've ever seen this before. +1 to Pentacles bonus. At the beginning of any sorcery challenge, 2 random tricks placed on the board are in a scryed state. Oh, that's really nice. So we kind of want spells next, if we can get them. Like, we're going to want to increase our Pentacles somehow. And that means taking a spell skill card. So this is the polar bear we need to fight. Let's give it a try. We are a little stronger, right? We have 1 more swords, 1 more cups, and... Actually, we have 1 more of every stat. So, let's see how well we do. Not the best chance, but not the worst. I don't like the odds for this. It's average. Worse. The same as our attack. I don't like any of these. So the good news is that this is a sorcery challenge. So if we do this, we will benefit from our... Okay, so yeah, all right. Back up, Tim. Explain what's going through your mind to the viewers and don't mess it up. So if we choose this option, because this is sorcery, 2 of the tricks will be scryed. I will see what those values are, which will help me determine which of the cards I possess in my hand if I want to use them on those cards or avoid those cards. Here, though, we can benefit from using our dagger, we can use our flintlock, and I can use both of my heroic feats. So I still think it's in our best interest to attack the possessed polar bear, even though we don't have any scryed cards. And Psychic, we wouldn't be able to use our dagger or our gun here. So even though this looks like it's the same, this is not. Okay, it's an okay hand. I see several 10s. Roll 1 bone and bump the card value up +X on... Oh, so this is going to help me very much. So, ironically, this can't help me because I've got all 10s in my hand. We have every 10 in our hand. The swords, the cups, the wands, and the pentacles. And so using this feat does nothing for me because I cannot make those 10s face cards. I do not have a edge that lets me do that. So this isn't going to assist. The only thing that would help me do is bump my 4 up a little bit. Now, critical hit, we can't use it yet. I think because we have to have a trick revealed. And again, that trick must be a number card for us to really benefit from that. And again, Old Flintlock is basically the same exact thing as Trench Knife, only instead of a dice, it increases the target by +2, guaranteed. So let's go ahead and just flip cards then. Well, we lost. I think we can take some big hits here. And I don't mean that to say we can afford to take them. I mean there can be some big penalties up here for losing this fight. You lost a battle. You couldn't do enough damage to stop it. It moves quickly and strikes hard. We'll try that again. If we fail this time, I think we'll just have to flee. Oh, that's not good. I don't like seeing so many low cards in our hand. Okay. One more time, Tim. It's not a bad hand. We have a bunch of decent cards. No, only one face card, though. Oh, but that was really useful. The page showed up, and our knight can take it. Just need one more success. And that will do it. Yeah, that's interesting. So our feats and our weapon abilities were not useful at all for our earlier failures. You won the battle. The polar bear's body is a shattered mess. The head has come off. Thought for sure that was the end of us. Good thing I tried for one more round. So this polar bear's head is placed into one of the 2 locations here. I think we will come back for that. And we'll go upstairs next. The locks up here are a little tougher to open. I'm going to just leave them alone. Unless we must open a door, I won't touch it. Oh, sorry. I won't bother trying to pick the lock. And I'm not going to explore these rooms at the moment. The encounters you get on the 2nd floor are tougher than the encounters on the 1st floor. And we are not strong enough. I deem us too weak to actually successfully do these encounters. Or rather, have a decent chance of actually winning them. We're going to open all the doors, though, just so I see which ones are locked and which ones are not locked. Another group of cultist guardians. Alright, so let's try fighting them. Let's win immediately. I can't afford to take any real... I can't afford too many more hits with 7 hit points left. You won the battle. Good job, Sarah. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to quickly save the game. because if I don't like the skill card I select, I will totally kill the game and reload to get a better skill card. Okay, so I would like something that can let us increase our pentacles. So I'm going to select one of the sorcery specialists. Which one do I want? Hyperborean sounds most closest to what Stiletto anyway was using in Anachronox, so we'll pick the Hyperborean sorcery for her. It was an age undreamed of when Wizard Kings ruled by channeling a powerful dark sorcery that eventually frayed the very fabric of reality. Only fragments of this knowledge remain. You've dedicated yourself to uncovering what you can and harnessing the power for your own use. And we will immediately work on that Pentacles. I want this at least at 5 before I begin taking a bone of Pentacles and then any spells. Actually, maybe we'll cast it once and then take the bone. So let's talk about this really quick. So to cast any spell in the game, which we have none of at the moment, you must have a bone of Pentacles to do so. To use any weapon, you must have a bone of swords. To use heroic feats that are physical in nature, I think even mental heroic feats, I think can use the cups bone, and then it's either wands or swords, depending upon physical or mental, I think. And then you have psychic talents, which require a wand, a bone of wands. So, in other words, we cannot cast any spells at the moment until we unlock the bone of Pentacles. But I'm going to increase my Pentacles stat 1 to help us with all the encounters we will have before I worry about a bone and then spell casting. There's no clock here today. Normally there's a grandfather clock in this room. There is none here in the second floor foyer. We haven't gotten a trap yet up here. Oh, yeah. So this is what I expected the normal secret door difficulty to be when we saw the one downstairs. My goodness, that is difficult. You hear a mechanism click and see motion at the corner of your eye. A large pendulum swings down to your location at a tremendous rate of speed. It looks like it could cut you in half. You instinctively duck and roll away from the falling blade. I prefer having more draw than tricks most of the time. That's a good hand. We just have to hope for swords up there. A single sword card will let us beat this challenge. And we get one. It's a 2, but I'll take it. I also don't mess around when it comes to traps. You don't ever want to fail a trap challenge. That's good. We won by quite a big number. So traps, just like locked doors, can also give you an ill omen or an aura of fortune. You tuck into a roll and come up 4 feet away unscathed. But traps also, if you fail them, have a great chance to give you a wound. I think something like a 10 to 20% chance to do so. Two Auras of Fortune. Let's save the game really quick. Every one of those really begins to add up for all the other rewards you will start gaining. I think it's an increase to what you've drawn as opposed to a increase the number of good cards you get. Does that make sense? So the cards are more powerful. They're more likely to be better cards, I think, rather than more cards. Do I want to walk in here? I think I do. We could have Ben Holloway in here. Sometimes he shows up in the laboratory. This could be dangerous stepping foot in here. This could be a Talazrati scientist and brain canisters. But I'm gonna check it. Let's do it. You see a strange man hunched over a work table that is cluttered with blueprints, tools, gadgets, and colorful test tubes. He barely takes any notice of you at first, as if he had frequent visitors to his laboratory, which you find highly unlikely. You recognize the man from his odd file almost immediately, Dr. Laszlo Benway. What could he possibly be doing here? There is obviously some strange convergence that is attracting the most notorious and nefarious characters and supernatural entities to this place. Let's talk with them. Strange bedfellows. This place is downright dangerous. He's not your primary mission objective. Maybe you two could both find a way to help each other out? Oh, well. We have an ace, a 2, a king of wands, and a queen of swords, so this is a good hand. And it's even nicer when we draw a face card up here that we have a king to match with. Ooh! ×2. There's no reason for me to flip the other cards. Our 2 and our ace are both of the same suit, thus we know that we cannot have... They can't take anything that's up here. We'll just win. You clear your throat and look Benway straight in the eye when he glances up. You note from his facial expression the recognition that you are an odd agent, and the faintest hint of a smile crosses his face. Yes, I think you'll do just fine, he says. Your arrival was most serendipitous. I have a task for you. You will be rewarded, of course. Benway wants you to find his lab refrigerator, which also happens to be this house's only refrigerator, located naturally in the kitchen. Fetch the small jar labeled boffin juice, and return it here at once. While we're here, let's check the rest of this room. I don't think there's going to be anything dangerous in it, because Benway's in here. So that was a gentleman I was hoping to see. That otherwise it could have been a horrific-looking alien. And I probably would have chosen to flee that encounter. The workshop could have a pile of junk in it. That's tempting. Ah! You are surprised by a sudden flickering of shadows that spreads out around you. You feel like you are being choked by some invisible force. Now, this is a random encounter, everyone, so we could have probably stepped forward one more on the hallway and still had gotten this, but that was too funny. Your eyes bulge as you fight to gasp for air, and the dark shadows swirl around you. You shake off the feeling that you are choking and finally breathe freely. Two creatures of the shadows swirl around you. You recognize immediately that you are dealing with the type of ghostly creature that feeds off human emotions, fear and pain being the most succulent. You can either stand firm and fight them psychically, or run and hope to fight another day. So I added the ability to shadow box them. This comes from an old cartoon I watched so long ago, and I can't remember what the name of it was. But this group of heroes found themselves in this shadowy room that was had like a flickering brazier in it, and there was a shadow guarding like something in the room or preventing their escape from it, and they had to have their shadows actually like fight that shadow. Like they themselves, standing in the room, could do nothing. It's their shadows determined if they would hit it or not. I thought that was pretty amazing when I was a kid. No idea what that cartoon was, though. So, and our chance to win is actually better with it, so we'll try this. You throw a few jabs and notice they actively avoid the shadow of your punches. For a second, they hesitate, and that's when you realize you can take them. It's going to be a bit of touch and go, though, metaphorically speaking. Oh, alright, let's just immediately use the trench knife. Oh, well, that wasn't very helpful. We're going to use our whirlwind for this as well, I think. But we rolled a 6. That is significantly greater than our cups or swords attribute, so we failed that heroic feat. The courage, however, was still used. Wow, and we completely failed this. They know how to dodge your attacks and when to hit you back. They are shadows, after all. It'd be surprising if they didn't know. Ah! I thought they went after my sanity. I guess that's not the case. Alright, we'll try that again. Alright, this is a much better hand. Oh, chose the cups card. Do I think one of... Actually, it doesn't matter. We should always play the queen in this instance. There's only 2 cards left. And we have the knight, which is the only reason I would hold on to the queen instead of using the... I'm messing this up again. I can't ever speak incoherent sentences to describe what's going through my mind. So in this instance, if I'm going to play a face card to take that 8, which I do plan to do, there is no reason why I should not play the queen. The only reason to play the queen instead... If I didn't have the queen, like, our choice would be the knight or cups. So I have to worry... Still messing this up. I hate listening to myself talk sometimes because I realize how little sense I make. So... Because we have the next highest card of the cups suit, the knight, which is 1 lower than the queen, there was no reason not to play the queen here if I was going to play the knight. Because the knight can take everything that the queen could have taken, with the exception of, obviously, the queen. So, we will play the queen, and if we get... Yes! Maybe we can get another cups. Alright, I hope that made sense what was going through my head, everyone. I apologize, because it probably was not. Not many people are afraid of their own shadows, let alone others. Looks like these nightmares should have been, though. Right. I let you regain sanity fighting them. They really should damage your sanity as well, not your physical life when you fail that challenge. That could be a really bad encounter, but I think we'll still check it. A clue token, another one. You find a box of candles made from materials you don't even want to contemplate. You're sure that this is the work of cultists. You've come up to a large bas-relief face mounted on the wall. Its features are worn and it looks quite old. As you stare at it, you start to feel uneasy. Suddenly, you realize that the mouth is moving, its lips ever so slightly, and then you hear the mumbling. It starts as a whisper, but you can't get it out of your head as it grows in intensify. Intensify. As it grows in intensify. No, that is intensity. That is intensity. The F, this is not an F, then that's a T. If this keeps up, you are certain that it will drive you insane. You fight to keep the mumblings from overwhelming your mind. You can't understand any of it, but the droning noises seem to want to burrow deep into your skull. And that can't be good. Oh, not a good hand. You search for some way to block out the mumbling noise, but only flail helplessly. There's an eldritch power at work here, and it breaks into your mind and seeks to wound you. The face on the wall looks amiable, but you know otherwise. The lips continue to move, but the mumbling is barely audible. Examining the bas-relief more closely, you notice that there is a pictograph script of some sort disguised within the frieze that encircles the face. You sense eldritch sorcery at work here. The bas-relief could be enchanted or cursed, or merely serving as the physical nexus of some malevolent force. You realize that you should proceed with caution. You decide to take a closer look at the strange pictograms hidden in the frieze that surrounds the bas-relief face. You think you recognize some of the symbols as variants on the Indus Valley seal stones. Perhaps you can decipher them. They might help you understand the strange mumbling, or perhaps even warn you of any danger from the eldritch sorcery that permeates the face. That was very nice. Thank you, Knight, for showing up. We had our single face card was a queen of the same suit. You step closer and examine the pictograms. They are indeed related to the seal stones of the Indus Valley. You piece together their meaning by recalling your training in the odd lost languages lab. The eldritch creature is known as Sixmologath, and it has been bound to the face as punishment. The mumbling must be its attempt to communicate with you. Aware that you must proceed with caution, you focus your mind and try to attune yourself to the rhythmic cadences that issue from the lips of the bas-relief. Perhaps something can be learned from what appears to be just dangerous gibberish. Most of the time, if you succeed in deciphering the pictograms, it will make listening to it, and even I think dispelling it, a little bit easier for you. But sometimes, especially later on in the game, if your stats are too high, the game will decide that, oh wait, your stats are kind of high, I'm going to make it tougher on you, just as a heads up. So we got lucky here in that it made it kind of easier. And although I'm tempted to just fail this, we will pass it. I don't want to risk losing sanity. You slip into a trance and the words take shape in your mind. You are face to face with an ancient eldritch creature of terrifying power, and its name is Sixmologath. It is, however, trapped in the bas-relief. It wants to strike a bargain with you. The bas-relief face seems to almost be smiling at you, and it makes you uneasy. The smile belies the agony that it must be in. The mumbling's meaning now seems crystal clear. Its heart has been ripped from it and hidden somewhere in the house. The sorcery binding it cannot be broken until the heart is returned to it. It wants you to seek out the wall that weeps blood and reach inside to find and free its heart. It teaches you the words of release and promises you that you will be rewarded should you help it free itself from the face. I've been getting experience points I completely forgot. Tentacles increased. Let's then work on the bone next. You see a grizzled old man dressed in some grungy old robes. He seems to be aware of your presence, and he waves you forward. He introduces himself as the Alchemist, and you notice that he is indeed surrounded by a menagerie of strange equipment. You wonder what on earth he's doing here in this mansion. He doesn't seem at all disturbed that you have dropped in on him. Well, we'll talk with him. You decide to engage the Alchemist in a little conversation to try and discover what he's up to. You continue to make lots of small talk, but besides some pleasant smiles, he doesn't seem quite convinced about you. You feel like he's tossing something over in his mind. We'll try that again. We had a king and a queen, and we couldn't use either of them. He seems to size you up, and you get to the heart of the matter. He wants your help, and he's willing to help you in return. Yes, young master, you will suffice, I think. I cannot leave this room because I cannot. But I need my papers returned to me if I am to complete this great work that I have set out to finish. My legacy, you see. He wants you to recover some papers that are nearby. The papers are warded, so you must speak the words of release when you find them. He can't remember exactly where. He mumbles some warning about competitors, and then sends you on your way. I think originally Vic Davis, the designer of this game, had wanted the Alchemist and the Rashaka to compete with the papers. and you could turn it into only one of them. But in the end, I don't think it worked out that way. There's a paper for the alchemist, there's a paper for the Rashaka, and I think there's a paper for the witches? And everyone, we probably should stop very soon. We'll keep playing until we find the staircase. Okay, so let's go downstairs, but then we're going to call the session at this point. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the attic staircase. We definitely do not want to be up in the attic. That says up, Tim, not down. You don't want to take that quite yet. Let's keep going until we find the staircase that leads us back down to the first floor. This is the seance room. Is that right? Oh, no, this is a library, but... Oh, no, yeah, this is a library. This is not the seance room. It looks like there wasn't one. Maybe it'll be in the attic instead. If we find a room that has the seance in it, we have a chance to get a crystal ball. That increases our pentacles by 1 again, and we can use it to figure out where the end room is. That will be very important later on. And now we did find the way back downstairs. Okay, everyone, so we're going to stop here. So let's summarize what has happened in this video. So, Sarah Anoa has gotten a little more beat up in this episode. She's down to 10 life. She had, I think, 13 when she started. But her sanity is very high now, up to 24. Looking very good there. She's feeling very confident about her ability to win, even if physically she's a bit weary. She's gained +1 now to all her stats, and +2 actually to pentacles, so she is more versatile. We picked up an old flintlock and an ancient gun case. We've picked up a map as well, and the Nakonic manuscript. So she has quite a bit of lore with her now. I suppose the map is one of this... Yeah, I guess it works like Resident Evil. We found the map of the actual mansion on the wall, and so this is helping us plan where things are. I think this is probably showing what rooms still have items in them by showing those rooms as being red instead of green. And the mnemonic manuscript must detail the types of rituals that the cult here is utilizing, giving us some knowledge about how to defeat them. Alright, everyone, we'll stop here. So thank you guys for watching, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.